Mick Gray chats with Steve Poltz, May 16th, 2022.
How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are
you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Notice that I really love you so much. I'm trying to get there.
Whoa. You haven't got a haircut in a long time, have you?
No, it's been about 2.5 years.
That's how long it's been since I've seen you, probably. It looks good.
Terry was just saying she thought it was at Kumba. You played Kumba maybe 2 years ago or something.
Oh, before the pandemic, 3 years ago.
Yep.
Kumbaya Jazz Center, yeah.
So
crazy.
I've been bugging you so much, but you tour 250 days a year. It's so hard to nail you down.
I know. It seems like I'm always gone. So
you are always going.
Thank you for having me. It was so weird to hear all those songs just now because Billy Strings really has such a great voice. That's what I was thinking.
I tell you, just, if you, that set is pretty fun because you got a bunch of great singers, a bunch of great musicians, and then you co-writing with them. And then what album is Monkeys on? That's on one of your records, right?
I think so. I think it's on The Accident.
Yeah. Monkeys Flying Out of Your Ass by Dash Riprock.
It was so funny to hear that because me and Bill from Dash Riprock then wrote one that Mojo Nixon covered.
Oh, that's
called
right.
I'm Gonna UPS My Heart Next Day to You. And I was wondering if you're gonna play Mojo Nixon next.
I was gonna play that, but because I had to consolidate it down because I know that you have to catch a plane in the morning to get to Joshua Tree. You got a festival.
Yeah, I'm getting up at 3:30 in the morning, believe it or not. I'm in Nashville right now. It's already, what time is it? 10:30 right now?
7:30, 8:30,
9:30.
9:30. It's not past your bedtime yet. You still got a little bit of time.
So I'm getting up at 3:30 in the morning and catching a flight to Palm Springs. Southwest flies to Palm Springs. I don't know if you know that.
I don't, but that sounds perfectly handy for where you got to get to.
Yeah, we're stopping in Phoenix and then going to Palm Springs.
I'm sure there's
switching planes.
As much as you travel, you must be able to sleep on planes, right?
No.
You can't sleep on a plane? I can't either. That's what I was going to say. How could you fly as much as you do and not be able to? God, that's terrible.
Sometimes maybe for 5 minutes I'll doze, but I can't really sleep. I don't know why. My thumb was blocking the screen. Sorry.
It worked. So yeah, that was a fun set. And like I was saying, that last song we played from your old friend Jewel, wow. That thing is just one of those that keeps on giving, right?
It is. You know what's cool is that, the song Molly Tuttle did?
Yeah, the Million Miles?
I wrote that with Jewel 25, 30 years ago. I don't even know how long ago, but we wrote it when we wrote You Were Meant for Me, but we never finished it. And then Molly came over maybe 25 years ago. And then Molly came over to my house to write songs. And we wrote a bunch of songs, some of which one she has on her new record now that she rewrote with Ketch from Old Crow Medicine Show, who I was just with the other night. And they rewrote a song that Molly and I wrote called Over the Top for You, and they call it Over the Line for You, and changed some verses. And then I just got a song co-written that's out with Andy Frasco that just got released. Wash, Rinse, Repeat. It got released this week. So it's weird. All these different things come in. But what I was going to tell you was the song Molly did, she completed the song 25 years later. I left her it. And then she had Jason Isbell singing harmony on it, and my friend Sierra Hull's playing mandolin. And I just co-wrote some songs with Sierra Hull and a bunch of Jim Lauderdale.
I want to talk to you about that.
Yeah. So the Sierra Hull ones, Molly had asked Jason Isbell to sing harmony on it. And then I didn't even get the approval from Jewel when Molly wrote the other verse. And Jewel didn't answer me back when I texted her the version. I said, I hope it's cool. I let this girl finish our song. And if not, you got to let me know because she's going to put on a record. She's got Jason Isbell singing on it. And so then I didn't hear back from Jewel. at all. So I thought, oh shoot, I'm gonna get sued because I told Molly that Jewel said it was cool. I lied because Molly said, I'm going to the studio tomorrow. Is it cool? And I lied and told Molly, yes, it's cool. Go into the studio. And then I was going, I'm seriously gonna get sued. And then I finally got a text from Jewel like a week later. And she said, sorry, I've been in a silent meditation retreat and there were no phones allowed. This song's cool, yes. So I know. And then I never confessed it until I played Telluride Bluegrass Festival and Molly was playing it and Sierra Hull was playing it. I brought Molly and Sierra Hull out, and then Jewel lives in Telluride. So I invited Jewel out on stage and we all sang that song, and I confessed
on
to
stage?
them all, in front of like thousands of Telluride fans that I had lied. So I figured I couldn't get in trouble.
That's like confession. That must have felt like fucking confession. You were like, I lied. I said that she had. That must have been great. Must have been a great moment.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. So anyways, it's really good to see you. You look fantastic. I'm a fan of yours, and you're such a talented artist, and you're so good with your comics and everything you do. And you're such a lover of music. You're the kind of, we need more people like you. You know, the way you think, your political line of thought, all that stuff.
Yes.
Good.
Why aren't more people just,
like you,
open-minded, just available, available. I don't know. And that is why from the get-go, that moment back in the 90s when I ran into the Rugburns, I went, this guy, it's like that. It's like the old, I always say magnets bouncing off of it. Magnets either attract or repel. And I was like, Steve Poltz, this guy is my kind of person.
Well, the Rugburns, we used to always play in Northern California at a place called the Starry Plow in Berkeley.
Yep, great
Man,
place.
those gigs were nuts. And then we would play the Paradise, it was called. I think the Paradise.
Yep. I never got to see the Rugburns ever. And I've already said that I am putting it on my calendar for your birthday next year. Because I've missed all your birthday shows.
We're going to do 2 nights.
Yes. Shit, you had Aaron Lee Tazjan down there. He's one of my favorites, too. I would have loved to have been there this year.
Oh, yeah. We've written some together, too. We got to put him out. I love that guy. He's fun to write with. He's great. And but the Jim Lauderdale thing, man.
Yeah, tell me about that, because he's one of my favorites, man.
So when I moved to Nashville, I really wanted to write with Jim Lauderdale, and I went to see him. He was playing on the Tuesday night honky tonk at the American Legion Hall in East Nashville. They do this Tuesday night honky tonk. It's really neat. And all these younger kids go that are hip, and then old rednecks go. It's like this blending of crowds. So it's like a scene for everyone, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And people are doing that square dancing or whatever. It's, I don't know, like swing dancing.
Yeah,
and
it's so almost like the old Armadillo headquarters or something, man.
Yeah. So I met Lauderdale years before that, but then I reconnected with him when I moved here, and I said, hey, I live here. I'd love to write some songs with you. And he was busy. I was busy, and it just didn't happen. And then we were both going to be playing this cruise ship called KMiC. And so we were going out on the cruise ship, and we were leaving in 3 weeks. And he called me and said, hey, want to write a song with me? And we could do it together on the boat. And I said, yeah. And then when he came over, he goes, why don't we write a whole show and do it as a duo? And I thought, we only have 3 weeks. Are you crazy? And he said, yes. So we wrote 15 songs, and we did, I think, 11 or 12 of them on the boat, like using the words and chords written down because we couldn't have memorized them all. But they're really cool songs. So now we're going to do a duo record.
Oh, man. Poltz and Lauderdale?
Yeah. And he's going to come to my festival this weekend, Bahootensie, and he's one of the musicians playing it. So we've become very good friends. It's pretty neat.
I tell you, he seems like, he's totally yoga, Tai Chi. He's like really connected to Earth, man. That guy's Earth connected, man.
And he's super funny.
Oh,
he really is. Like the you get to know him and stuff. He's hilarious.
I listen to the Buddy and Jim show a lot that they do on Sirius, and he's the comedy relief a lot of the time. He comes in with he has very deadpan humor, man. It's freaking great stuff, man.
Now, I'm lucky to know him.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to hear this record. I can't wait to hear these songs, man. This is like, you know, back in 1976 or 77 when I was totally into Robert Gordon, and I was like, God, I love Robert Gordon. Oh, he doesn't have Link Ray anymore. Oh, you know what would be cool? In my mind, I'm saying this. It would be cool if Chris Spedding joined Robert Gordon. And then sure enough, the next record, I made it happen. Chris Spedding was playing with Robert Gordon after that. I don't know how I did that. Tell us about this festival. How did this come about? And it's called the Bahootensie.
Yeah. So what happened was my dad used to always say the word Bahootensie, and we lost him last year, and he made it to 90 years old, and he used to cough and he would say the word Bahootensie. And I said, Dad, what does that even mean? And so we sort of made it up that it's many blessings. Let's go nuts.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
And so we're having the festival, and it's called Bahootensie.
Yeah.
And it's Bahootenzie, Bahootensie Folk Fest and Song School. So I got Nikki Bloom teaching songwriting with Jim Lauderdale and my good friend Dan Byrne. And so the four of us are teaching, and then we're all playing the festival. And you can camp out in Joshua Tree. It's this coming weekend. The song school is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the festival's this Friday and Saturday in Joshua Tree, and there's tickets still available.
Oh man, I would love to go to that. I mean, number one, I'm a huge Graham Parsons fan, and I've always wanted to go down to that hotel down there.
Yeah.
And stay in that hotel.
And the Shook Twins are playing too. And Shook Twins are from Portland, and they're great. And I have a song I wrote with them too that's on one of their records, Shook Twins. And also this guy TK, Taylor Kingman from TK and the Holy Know Nothings. Yeah. He's the future. Remember I said this. He's 26 years old, and TK is the future.
Wow.
You're going to see this kid blow up. They're so good. It's this Portland scene. It's some dudes from Fruition joined TK's band, and it's amazing. So he's playing at my festival.
I got to check that out, man. So you curated this whole thing. How? I mean, it's like, how did Steve Poltz just all of a sudden be curating a festival in Joshua Tree?
Well, the way it happened is I went out during the pandemic, and I did 2 nights in Joshua Tree. And they would only allow 150 people, and they had to be socially distanced, and it was outdoor, and they drew these pods people would sit in. And so it's where the Joshua Tree Music Festival is. And my friend Barnett English, he puts on the Joshua Tree Music Festival. So he had me play a Friday and a Saturday, and I just love him. And then I was out there playing it, and I said, it'd be cool to have a really small folk festival, just like this many people, and do a song school and watch it slowly grow and make it an event where people camp out. So he said, you want to really do it? So he just had his big festival, Joshua Tree Music Festival, last weekend. And this is my own little one. It's Bahootensie. Hopefully I'll do it every year. I don't know what I've gotten into. Honestly, Mick, I'm really nervous because I feel like I may be in over my head, and I've taken on a challenge, and everything was going smoothly in my life, and now I have this pressure, and I'm worried. So probably by next Monday I'll be happy.
You have really good vibes, man. You have the energy. It all will work out. I
hope so.
And I mean, maybe I would know. That's somewhat. I would want to. If you were there next year, I would want to go. So it's killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I get to see Steve in a festival, and I get to go to Graham Parsons where he died in the hotel there.
Well, if I do have it next year, I'm going to have Robbie Folks. So that's going to be crazy. And he's one of my heroes.
He's great.
And as is Dan Byrne. Dan Byrne just opened for The Who last 2 nights ago in Memphis, and he killed it. He's good friends with Roger Daltrey. And so, Dan Byrne is just
Dan
one of
is
my
a fantastic,
songwriters.
really great songwriter, and he can rock hard too.
Oh yeah, and he was on Ani DeFranco's record label years ago on Righteous Babe, and put out a bunch of records and toured with Ani. And he's just, I mean, I'm lucky to know all these people, Mick. I really am. And when you were playing those songs prior to me coming on, and I just was like, I'm just going to listen. So I got my picture off of the screen because I just wanted to, I never listened to these songs. And there was a thing going on in my head the whole time they were playing. I was like, God, all these people are such good singers. They're such better singers than I am. And the way they do it, like the Mastersons just did that. The recording is so good. Their voices are so good.
Maybe of that set, Highway 1 there, maybe I think that might be my favorite song in that set. Those
Dude.
two, God, their voices are just something special.
Yeah, they're in Spain right now. They just finished a tour in Spain with my buddy Brady Blade on drums.
Wow.
And Brady played with me and Jewel at Woodstock '99. Brady Blade, and he was Steve Earle's drummer in the Dukes.
Yeah,
and Duchesses, and he's Emily Harris's drummer.
And they're connected with Steve Earle and the Dukes for years and years and years too.
Yeah, they're the Dukes and Duchesses. They are, and
pretty amazing.
So that's cool. I mean, we're really lucky to be alive in a time right now where I'm able to be talking to you and looking at you, and you've created this following and you've created this scene, and you're an artist and an artisan, and to be able to be a part of it all on this planet right now is, I mean, there's so much beauty in this world. Everywhere you look, there's beauty.
I tell you, man, with everything that's ugly, to look, you have to acknowledge it, you have to understand it, and you have to try to help and prevent it, but you have to kind of look through it and look at the beauty that's surrounding it all too, you know?
Well, as I get older, I see more of the beauty, and the news really can hurt me, and so can really violent shows lately. Something's happened as I become 62, and I'm getting more like, oh man, I don't need too much news. I need to take news breaks and just put my phone down and concentrate on. I mean, there are so many good things, and bad news gets the clicks, you know.
I know.
Tucker Carlson gets the clicks because of what he speaks about it with this vitriol and hatred. And so I have to turn my head away from a lot of these things today, and
20
really
demerits. 20 demerits against you for even mentioning that name.
Yeah, I know. I don't blame you. Yeah, I shouldn't have. What I'm trying to say is there really is good out there, and there are so many cool people, and there's so many beautiful things to do.
Yes.
And it still is a vibrant time to be alive. And yes, we can do so much better. We can. I can do so much better. I mean, like, there's just things we can do. But that being said, we still have this thing, and it's music, and it binds us together, you know?
Sure does.
And there's songs and where they take me, and certain records I put on that bring me to this beautiful space. And I know it happens to you. I mean, you're such a fan.
Yeah, well, the saying here on KMiC is music heals, and you can just feel it from, like you say, from a certain song, from just the way two notes go together. You can just get the chills up your spine and the feeling that all is okay from it.
How's Holly?
Holly is great. She's in the other room. She's like avoiding. She's not coming on the screen.
Tell her I said hi, though. I love being around her. She's so nice. She's a sweetheart.
She's the one that gets all this technology working for me, because I couldn't do it.
Oh, well, she's great. What about your other buddy who does the
Frank Sirocco? Frank Sirocco is here.
I love that guy.
Here he is. There? He's here.
I love that dude. He's always so kind to me.
He's a great dude.
Like, really.
Terry, remember Terry? My friend Terry, she's here too. She's here too.
Terry Hammaker.
Yeah, Hammock, yep.
Hammock.
Babender, yeah.
Terry Hammock, Babender.
You know, in the next year, I live down near Monterey now, and in the next year, I want to try to start doing house concerts, and if I can afford you and get you in here, one of these days,
yes,
I want to get you in a house concert here. We'll see.
Yeah.
At some point, we should talk about it because that's.
I'm coming out west to play a show on July the 17th at the Hot Monk, Navarro.
Yes.
July the 17th.
I haven't been up there yet. That's a little bit of a drive for me, but man, Casey Turner, what a man.
Yeah.
Is he the
Well,
new?
if it's a drive for you, it's a real long drive for me from Nashville.
Exactly. Speaking of Nashville, your move from San Diego to Nashville has to be the best thing you ever did, right?
I owe it all to my wife, Sharon. She was the one who wanted to move out here.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't ever want to leave San Diego.
And look at all the people you've met and written with since then.
Oh, me moving here, I feel like I was welcomed into this community and I'm with my tribe. And a lot of times there's just a tribe of people. And I think sometimes, I know for me, I could become shackled in the own reality I have created for myself, whatever the story is I'm telling myself, and I can become shackled by that. And so there are times when you have to take a move and take a step sideways, like open up that sliding glass door in your mind and take a step to the right and go, where is this going? And then hope that you land on your feet. And that's what happened with me moving out here. It was a huge move. I never wanted to leave San Diego.
Yeah.
I mean, we got in a huge argument, me
Wow.
and Sharon, my wife, before we moved. And I was like, I'm not moving from San Diego. I am San Diego. I actually said that.
That's a great line.
Oh, it's so dumb. It's like, what I think I was, Travis Bickle or something. So I mean, I love San Diego. Don't get me wrong. Of course. I mean, you got the weather, you got the weather, you got the weather, you got the weather.
It's so great.
But man, moving to Nashville, you got the mosquitoes, you got the muggy heat, you got the instant sweaty, muggy, but you got all the songwriters that live out here, and this whole scene is happening, and it's vibrant community wherever you go. Yeah. Oh man!
And what was Sharon's reasoning for wanting to move? Was she just saying you need to be here?
Well, Sharon said, I think you should move to Nashville because we were playing all these festivals and there was all these other musicians and we were going, where do you guys live? Everybody, the common thread was Nashville. Margot Price. Margot Price came up to me and she goes, you know, I got to tell you this. I played your song, You Were Meant for Me, in a talent show in 8th grade and took 2nd place. And I was like, a talent show in 8th grade or 6th grade. That's how much younger she is than me. It made me laugh so hard.
Little kid.
And
man.
So I run into people like that all the time. And there's this scene. So Sharon just thought you should move. And she had sold her business in San Diego and we'd always lived there. And San Diego is in my heart. I mean, it's just my city. Like I will end up back there one day because I'm just an ocean guy.
Yeah.
But for now, being in Nashville is where I need to be. Yeah. And you're so centrally located. I can be in Chicago so fast. I just played a show in Birmingham, Alabama, Friday night. I can be in Atlanta, Georgia. And then I can be up in Toronto so much faster. Because as you know, I'm a dual citizen of Canada and the US. So I just show my Canadian passport when I go up there and I play Halifax a lot all across Canada.
You have a great following up in your home country up there.
You know, it's weird. My following is really strong in Australia and Canada. Mm-hmm. And it's like and Ireland, they get storytellers and they get that sort of thing. Same as it is around the US, there's pockets like, I can't wait to come play Strawberry Festival in a couple weeks.
Such a great
I'm
festival.
playing that. And that's their final year of having it.
They're done? They're not going to do it anymore? Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm playing Redwood Ramble.
Wow. I used to go to the
Sierra.
Yeah, I used to go to the Strawberry Festival before it burnt in the original area they used to have it in the old days. It was near Twain Harte, near Yosemite. Originally.
Yeah.
It was fabulous. It was a great festival, man.
And now I'm playing at I'll be playing High Sierra Music Festival as well.
That's one I've never been to. That's supposed to be fantastic.
Oh, that's amazing. And then one other thing I'm doing that's really fun that I've gotten into, I discovered it last year, is I'm doing these river rafting trips where I'm the musician. And so this is going to be in the main arm of the Salmon River in Idaho. And the first one sold out and we have like eight slots left on the next one. And you go for 5 nights and 6 days, and I sing every night, and we all camp out together. It's put on by this company called Arda, and they give back to the environment. They're really cool.
Wow.
And so I'm doing that. That's on my website if you're interested. It's late August. At the end of
sounds
August.
like a blast, man.
It should be cool. I didn't know I was such a nature dude. You know how Weird Al Yankovic, you know how the Rugburns have a song, Dick's Automotive?
Yep, we all know that at KMiC Radio.
Well, Weird Al Yankovic put out his song, which is called Albuquerque, and it's a direct tribute to Dick's Automotive.
Is it
crazy?
If
you A-B them and play them back to back, sometimes Dick's Automotive and then play Albuquerque. So Weird Al used to always come see the Rugburns when we'd play the Troubadour in LA, and he'd always request Dick's Automotive, and then he kept going, I want to do a video for this, and he would hang backstage with us and tell me, I'm so obsessed with Dick's Automotive. But it's weird because he recorded Albuquerque but didn't give me credit on it. But I really don't care. I don't really care. But it's just kind of funny because he wrote Albuquerque because he was obsessed with Dick's Automotive.
Oh my God. That's crazy. I gotta hear that. Man.
Yeah.
What did I want? What else? Oh, we played You Were Meant for Me. You're probably tired of the damn story, but I never tire of it. And I hope I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people here that have never heard the story of you and Jewel frolicking in Mexico. Could you fill us in a little bit on that?
Well, what happened was that song I didn't know was going to be such a hit. It's crazy how life works. And so Jewel and I went down to Mexico to go surfing and camp out. And then we ended up getting lost and ended up in Bahia de San Luis Gonzaga, which is way down on the Gulf of California side. And so we crossed over. It's before you get down to Mulegé. And so if you know Baja at all, you get down, you go from Tijuana, and then it crosses back. It's down the Pacific Ocean side. Then it crosses across Baja California into the Gulf of California. And so we ended up in this town, Bahia de San Luis Gonzaga, and we ended up on a drug bust with these Mexican federales who were looking for these drug smugglers. And so they invited us out on their boats, on that one big boat to go whale watching. And then they got a call, and it was just me and Jewel and these 4 cops with automatic weapons. And then they said they had to go catch these guys. So they couldn't take us back to the shore, and they speeded towards like Miami Vice toward this island. And then we all got out, and the drug smugglers were running. There were guns, and then they captured them. And then they made me go get all the weed and bring it onto the boat. And the drug smugglers were looking at me like I narked them out, and I thought I was going to get killed. And then Jewel and I were in the boat with all the drug smugglers. We came back to shore, and then the cops said, let's take a picture. This is the largest drug bust we've had in years. So we took our picture with these cops, and we're drinking Corona beers. We had guns in our hands and tons of weed shoved into this black Suburban behind us. And this is back before you could buy weed at the Apple store. I mean, this is when it was illegal. And so then those pictures are online. So if you type in Jewel drug bust photos,
it's documented. Yeah, the photos are documented.
And little did I know that song we wrote would take us to Woodstock 99. And also on that recording, everybody was listening to, that was Flea playing bass. That's Flea.
I didn't know that.
Because, they re-recorded it with this guy. They kept my guitar part, and they re-recorded it with this pop producer because we lived at Neil Young's ranch where we made that record. So we got to live at Neil's place, and Neil would come in every day and check on us and see stuff. And Ben Keith was the producer of the record. He was in the Stray Gators. He's dead now, but he's the guy that played with Patsy Cline on Crazy and stuff like that. Like he on all those songs, he played with Patsy Cline, and he was in the Stray Gators. And so the guy playing keyboards on that recording is Spooner Oldham, who's amazing. And then they redid the bass part and got Flea to play bass. And so the funny thing is Elvis Costello went on before us at Woodstock 99. And we had just been with Elvis Costello watching Springsteen play. We had played Royal Albert Hall, and we were in London with Jewel at the height of her fame. And then we went to see Springsteen. We had a night off, and we sat next to Elvis Costello, and he loved Jewel. And he was like, hey, I'm going to see you guys in a few weeks at Woodstock. And so he went on before us, and this is the Woodstock where the riots were. So Elvis Costello goes on, and he gets off stage, and he goes, oh, man, I don't know if you want to go out there. It's getting weird. And he had ended his set singing What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding. And then we go on with Jewel. And when we were doing You Were Meant For Me, there was like, it was like 500,000 people or something. Like, I mean, like 500,000 people all singing You Were Meant For Me. It was the weirdest thing to think we wrote that in Mexico. And then when we ended the show, the Chili Peppers were coming on after us to close it out. And Flea was naked. And I was like, Flea, you played bass on that song. And he was talking to me, but he was totally naked. And then they go out there, and that's when those riots happen.
No. So you kept them calm once the Chili Peppers went out, man.
Oh, when the Chili Peppers went out, and they're like, they got into what I got to give it to your mama. And the crowd's going crazy. It was one of the most nutso things because that was a huge hit back then. And everybody's going to see 500,000 people moving. Like, what I got to give it. Like, it was so cool. And I mean, those guys are insane.
They are insane. And, still are to this day.
Oh, I know. And so, and I love their guitar player,
John
Frusciante. That guy's so good.
Yeah, they just got him back. God. He hadn't been with him for a while, and now he's back in the band. Yeah, pretty.
I wonder who they had play in '99. I don't remember who played guitar with them.
They had a couple good guys. You know, I mean, I remember seeing them at a small club back in the day with what was his name, Hildy, the first guitarist, and he was like Hendrix. They always had a good guitar player with them. They couldn't play without a good guitar player.
Somebody just said maybe it was Dave Navarro, and they might be right.
He was with them for a while too. Yep, crazy.
That's so crazy, man. I mean, what a life when you think about it. I feel like in a weird way, I've been the recipient of good timing for things to have happened and to be in the right place at the right time. And still be able to do it and still enjoy it, which is the most important thing. Yeah, I really enjoy it still.
Hey, here's another one that you probably getting sick of telling. I know there's people here that don't know your story, but I mean, there was a very life-changing event that happened on stage one night for you.
Yeah, that was in Wilmington, Delaware. I lost my vision on stage and ended up having a stroke. It was a full-blown stroke on stage. And that was crazy because I ended up in the hospital and was in Princeton Medical Center, and I lost my vision. So I went blind from it. And then
how long
when my vision came back, I couldn't read at first. None of the letters made sense and everything was jumbled, but I was really fortunate because it all came back, and I was scared to drive or anything. I came back and I was just completely freaked out. But I'm not even being facetious when I say this, but that's what got me into the Grateful Dead. After I had a stroke, like their music made sense to me. It totally made sense to me. I was like, I got really into the Dead.
You were not a Grateful Dead fan at all before.
No.
And then all of a sudden you went, whoa, that is crazy.
Yeah, after the stroke, it was weird. And then now I listen to it and I can kind of speak fluent Dead. Oh. Like I can talk 81, I can talk 72.
Yeah. And you cover some Jerry songs here and there.
Yeah, and it's hilarious that music made sense to me. And I love Old and in the Way. I love, all that stuff he was doing with different people. It was so good.
The first Jerry solo record.
Oh,
with Wheels, is that the name of the name of the song?
That's the blueprint of everything. That first Jerry record is the best.
I think it is. I think it is, and it alters the Dead because he goes back and plays with the Dead, and they start doing those songs too. So it's
I know.
Very interesting.
Do you think Paul Westerberg's ever going to tour again?
Wow, bringing him up out of Non Sequitur. I love that guy. The Replacements. God, I wonder if he'll tour because he is a fantastic musician. He seems, I've never seen him in an interview or anything, but he seems like he's just kind of crotchety, though. That's just my opinion. I'm just like, don't even.
Yeah.
Like maybe he's a lot like one of his biggest heroes, Alex Chilton. Maybe him and Alex are kind of the same type.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I just watched a Big Star documentary last night, and Alex's belligerent tendencies throughout. But there's another guy. I loved Alex. God, what a guy. This is fantastic. I love having you here. And you scared me. You said you only had a little bit of time. I didn't want to hold you up too much. That's why usually I'll play songs in between as we're talking and stuff. But with you coming in tonight, and I know you got to get to sleep, I didn't want to play too much music and I just wanted to let you talk. Wait, did you you muted yourself? We're not hearing you now. Come on back. Come back.
Unmute. Sorry, I don't know.
Did
that unmute?
You push. Yeah, you're back now. You're back.
I don't know what
buttons.
I did.
You're pushing buttons. Don't push any buttons.
But yeah, I'm gonna probably go to sleep soon because I'm getting up at 3:30 in the morning, and it's 2 hours later. But this has been so fun.
And I'll play a whole bunch of music. Oh wait, we should at least talk about the new record, right? Right?
Oh yeah.
This is phenomenal. This record here. Oh, there it is. Stardust and Satellites. It's not coming in good. There it is. Oh, there it is.
Oh my God. I made that record with my friends, the Wood Brothers, and they live here in Nashville. And so that was one of the greatest things. So I made it at the Wood Brothers studio, and Oliver Wood and John O'Ricks of the Wood Brothers produced that record. It's just fresh out, and it's I'm so happy with it. And I love Oliver, and we've even tried to write some songs together, and we will. Oliver Wood's great. And I'm such a fan of the Wood Brothers and Chris Wood of Medeski Martin and Wood. And he was my neighbor out here, and we would go on walks every day. And just like, so those guys did such a good job producing that record. They're very wise men, those Wood Brothers.
They've came through, and I've missed them. And now after them working with you, I'm like, I gotta see these guys perform.
Oh my God. They're so good. They're so good. And I just did a tour with them, and I had to miss the first week because I had COVID. And then I got over the COVID, and I had the best time with them. And I rode on their tour bus with them, and we just had a blast. And they play with me every night too.
Wow.
That's cool.
I think they're touring. I saw, do you know this musician, Rick Robertson?
Yeah, I know the name.
I think he's working. One of the Wood Brothers is working with him now, and they're doing Oliver. Some tours. Yes.
Yeah, Oliver and Ted Pecchio on bass, and John O'Ricks on drums, and yeah.
I just saw Rick Robertson tour opening for Sarah Jarosz, and he blew me away. I mean, he was really good.
Sarah Jarosz is a gift.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
He's one of my favorite musicians right now.
Yeah, I'm with you.
How about one more story?
Okay.
I'm gonna add the song that I play as you leave. I want you to tell the story of the song "Trash."
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this song is intense. Trash. It would not have existed if it weren't for this friend of mine named Eric Rudiak. And he came to a songwriting workshop I was teaching. And he suggested writing songs about songs that were already written and exchanging the characters in the song. So he suggested Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues. So it got me thinking about, that's it. Why did Johnny Cash shoot the guy? Just to watch him die. And so he thought I could write a cool song doing that. And so it made me think about when I was a kid and I would pull weeds with my dad, and I would hear that song, and I'd say, Dad, why would Johnny Cash shoot a man just to watch him die? That's cool. And my dad said, he didn't do it. And I said, he lied? And my dad goes, yeah. And I said, you can lie in songs? And he said, yeah. So I figured I would write a song from the point of view of the guy that gets shot in Johnny Cash's Folsom Prison Blues. And so that's what this story is about, why he gets shot.
Yes, and we'll just let them listen to the song and hear
Yes.
figure out the storyline. Okay.
Cool.
You are the best. Is that going to be a lesson in any of your songwriting classes this week? Is to take a song and rewrite it? That sounds like a great.
I'll suggest it.
That seems like
it.
Yeah, that seems like a great way because you already got something ready and you can attack it in a different angle.
Yeah, that's a good idea,
buddy. We got to stay in touch. Good. I know this weekend's going to go fantastic. It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be. You guys are going to have a lot of fun, and you're going to get a lot of people out there. I wish I could be there.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much.
And we will talk soon, maybe about doing a house concert. I hope.
I hope so too. All right.
Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Love you. KMiC Radio with our buddy, Mr. Steve Poltz. It's so nice of him to hang when he's got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. But here's the song, Trash, from 9099 is the name of the record. KMiC Radio.